G'day, folks. Welcome to the Fourplex as the Hawks take on the Caps. Last game for the Hawks was against the Caps in this same arena. It went to overtime where the Caps were able to score the overtime winner. Hawks are 0-2 in league play in the last two games. Let's see if they can get back on track tonight. They started off with a face-off win. Pass is missed there, but it's knocked into the zone as Cormier sends it over to Boudreau. Boudreau almost able to chip that in for the first shot on net, but they work it towards the middle here. Caps pick it up. 3-on-2 brewing up. Sent in between. Here's a breakaway. First shot on net. Saved by Dexter McLaughlin. Last game, the Hawks gave up 3 breakaways. 1 was partial, 2 were complete. We definitely can't be doing the same thing here tonight, but we started off that way. McPherson trying to pressure in the corner. Caps send it back to the other side. Stretch pass, tipped up and down the ice, and that'll be an icing. Christmas break coming into effect here soon as the Hawks finish up this weekend. They got the Caps tonight, Miramichi on Sunday. A couple other games and league play going on this weekend as well, and that'll wrap it up until January. Currently, the Hawks sit in second place, tied in points with the Flyers. Rangers leading. Both teams, Rangers and Flyers, have 3 games in hand. So we'll see what the Hawks can do here tonight to get closer to the top of the board. Caps try to flip that one over Guedette, but he'll have none of that as he stops, comes in, quick shot. Brewer with the save. Now behind the net, lots of bodies go down like candle pins in the corner. Guedette sends it back in deep to Casey. Casey waiting for support as Cornette Patterson comes in to help. Puck squeaks out the other side. Caps unable to break out as St. Clair takes a whack at it. Hawks go for a change. Caps try to go through the neutral zone, but a couple of their players decide to change as well. St. Clair behind the net. He moves it up. That's given right away as the Caps able to control it, walking into the slot. Here's a great chance, but Dexter makes it look easy for his second save of the game. Breakaway and a shot from the top of the slot early. Not what you want to give up here early, but we'll see as the Hawks settle down here. 2 players missing for your Hawks tonight, Landon Arsenault and Cedric Fournette. Both missing out of the lineup tonight.
And Abel Agnew is making his return tonight.
True that. Abel Agnew's been out with a wrist fracture. He's been practicing the last couple of weeks. He's all ready to go now. He's on the ice there now. Number 2, 22. 27 make that. There's a shot from the point. And I'm not sure what happened there, if it was a screen. So correction on that. Abel Agnew is in the lineup. He's number 27. I said 22. That's Mason Milia. But the Caps able to get that puck back to the point. Kind of a rainbow-looking shot, maybe with some screen as Dexter wasn't even sure that puck was coming on net.
There must have been a screen.
So the Caps strike first. We talk about it a lot, Tony, here at the home arena, especially where the Hawks are 2-4 at home. We know the Hawks are ready to go when they dump it in deep and go on the chase early, and when they try to skate the puck in, usually that's not a good sign here for the Hawks. There's a shot from the point, deflected wide. Richard tries to keep that in. Now Boudreau at the top of the line works his way, a quick shot. Will gets his blocker side stick on it. He kicks that one aside as well as that one worked its way out to the point. Now behind the net, Boudreau tries to chip it to Robichaud for the one-timer in front. Again, behind the net, Boudreau trying to settle things down, gets it right up there, but Brewer holds on to it. Robichaud's digging at it. A couple of the Caps will push him out of the way, and we'll get a whistle inside. Fredette Patterson on the draw. Wins it cleanly. Up to Robinson. Robinson puts it on net, and it goes in through the 5-hole. As the goalie, seen it at the last second, tried to deflect it in the corner with his stick, but it manages to squeak its way through the big old 5-hole. And we're tied at 1. Well, we've been saying it all year, Tony. Get people in front of the net. We've seen 2 goals now here in less than 4 minutes. Both from the point with people in front of the net. Magic formula. This is not calculus. This is just basic hockey, ABC hockey. Here's McPherson now, tries to turn and fire, and guess what, Tony? We've seen it before, we're seeing it again. Brewer pushes the net off with his pad last game. The refs had to go get a new peg, use some water to try to solidify that net on. He likes to use his pad and skate against that post and push off a lot, and in doing so, sometimes the net gets dislodged. Keep an eye out for it tonight. We'll see if it happens again, but there's number 1. Hawks doing a good job here winning the draw. They were not so good at it last game. As Casey tries to move it in, he gets sandwiched there and still getting the squeeze on in the corner. Cornette Patterson in to help. As 4-man battle, try to dig in. Cornette Patterson tries to just rifle that one towards the net, but it gets blocked. Now at the line, the Caps able to move it up and flick it into the zone. Robinson back, chips it off the wall to McPherson, who chips it over finally to Casey. Casey makes his way, and he's all alone. So he just fires that on net. That's gloved down by Brewer, and we'll get a face-off inside. That one off the draw is flicked up high in the air, and that one's tried to centering pass over to our call-up, number 4. As he takes a bang on the corner, but they try to get it out of the zone, and St. Clair unable to skate it out. He's got to go back for it. And now Rayfuse, he's stripped of the puck, but he gets support by Agnew. That one's wrapped around, but Cap's going to be the first one on it. Shot on goal, gloved down by McLaughlin. And that's going to be a penalty call as Richard tried to play that puck and an elbow came flying up beside his ears. And that's finally touched by the Caps as both refs finish blowing their whistles. The ref calls a head contact as Richard was playing that puck behind the net. The elbow came up and grazed his head. That wasn't much of a call, Tony. I would have liked to see that one just left behind. No harm, no foul there. Sometimes the players, you know, they're working hard. They're not trying to hit anybody. Nobody was trying to hurt anybody there. Maybe just yell out a warning to the players. Either way, the Hawks are going to go on the power play. This is going to look different as Landon Arsenault will not be starting this one off. So we're going to have Cormier, Robichaud, and Boudreau. And guess what, Tony?
Repairs to the net.
Repairs to the net as Brewer again asked for some help to solidify his goalpost.
We've got Melier and Godet on their off wings tonight. That's a little bit of a different look on the power play. We'll see if the one-timers come into play here.
Good eye, Tony, on that one. Yes. Melier usually playing on the other side. Same with Godet. That's an interesting observation there made early. That's why we have you here in the broadcast booth.
Yeah, and you did pick up on the fact that last game we our face-off percentage wasn't very good, so we'll hope to be better here tonight, and especially when we start in their zone on the power play, you want to take control of the puck.
So far, so good here earlier tonight on the 3 face-offs we have had. The Hawks have won all 3. Main things we're looking for tonight is just a little bit better on the draws, get that puck in deep, be first on pucks. We do move it to the point quite a bit, but we tend not to get people in front of the net. That's one thing we're working on. We scored a goal here tonight doing that. So hopefully they can get that puck to the net. Try not to be too cute with it.
Yeah, if we can get rebounds or shots from that danger area, that was missing last game as well. So a couple of things that we can be better at, and where we brought it to overtime last game. If we do those couple of things, maybe it puts us over the top.
100%. All teams growing here in the early stages of this year's hockey. We see the Flyers have picked their game up. They're looking great out there as they're forechecking hard, supporting each other. Good to see. Millier now back to retrieve it. That puck's off the mark, but picked up here in a wrap-around attempt. He goes around the back of the net, shot on net, but guess what? Nobody in front of the net, but great job there by Millier just to put that one straight on. Perfect shot for a deflection. Unfortunately, nobody there this time. Caps able to clear that one and get a change in. That pass is on the mark to Cormier as he enters the zone. He gets stick checked, and the Caps send it back the other way. Now behind the net, get that up to Cormier. Cormier slings it to Casey. Casey now in as he works it behind the net. He gets support by McPherson. McPherson drops it back to Cornette Patterson. Casey up to the blue line now as Richard fires one right on, rebound attempt, and that one just jumps over the stick of Cornette Patterson, but it's back up to the line to Millier, puts it right on, couple deflections, doesn't quite make it to the net. Hawks still in control here as they try to send that one back to the point. Great stick by the Caps to knock that one out of the zone. Hawks regain control, fire up to Casey, over to McPherson. McPherson sends that one in deep. Hawks are going to have to be quick here to get on that one. As Caps are able to wrap it around the boards. That takes a weird bounce. And Richard able to keep that one in. And now Casey, and that's going to draw a penalty as Cornette Patterson trips up his man. And right after the Hawks get the power play, the Caps are going to get one of their own. Caps win the draw clean up to the point. DDD pass here as they work it, send it in deep. Robinson tries to fire it around. Rakeview's going to have to be quick. Can he get there? He does. 2-on-1 can brew up here. Rakeview's trying to get his feet going. He gets it over. But knocked off the stick of Martin. But Rakeview still has it behind the net now as he tries to kill some time. Caps now behind the net. They look to sling this puck up the ice. Hawks do a good job containing. Now St. Clair are going to get a good chance to clear the zone, and he does. Caps now try to skate this one in, but guess what happens when you go through 3 or 4 players? That one back up to the line now, D-to-D pass. Caps now try to send that one on net. That's deflected. That one's sent out right out front. Nobody home for anybody. St. Clair knocks that one away. Swing and a miss by Robinson. Back up to the point as the Caps working the point. Trying to get that one in towards the net. Funneled, here's a quick shot, and Dexter makes that first save, and the second one's cleared out of the way by Robinson. Caps from a sharp angle, trying to center that one. That goes through everybody. Back up to the line, but not out. Caps able to hold it in as they work it down low, trying to center pass, and that sneaks through the stick of his intended target. Finally sent the length of the ice. The Hawks going to be able to get some fresh legs out. 10 seconds to go here in the power play for the Caps. Caps able to skate this one in. They drop it back down low. Now back up, nice little pass, quick shot. Dexter makes that look easy. That was a nice looking play by the Caps as they worked it from high to low into the slot area.
The Caps have a couple of their players back that they were missing last game.
On the back end, they have Avery Mullins. He's a good skating, hard shot defenseman.
And Eliakis up front, who's one of their better second-year players.
Definitely going to help them out here tonight as they still miss, I believe, I don't see him on the bench, Steves, one of the first-year star players for them, still out with a arm injury. There's the Hawks now. Great pass. Quick shot off the head. Rebound. Everybody's in close. Puck still loose. Who can find it first? And Robichaud knocks it to the corner. Both teams fighting for control here. Finally, Robichaud able to settle things down a little bit. They sneak it back to the point. Richard now sends it over to Millier. Millier, quick shot on net. Rebound. And that one almost picked up by Robichaud on the backhand for the Hawks' second goal. Richard down low, tries to get back up to Richard. Richard has to send that one in quick, goes off the stick, up and over the net. Millier now at the point, over to Richard. Richard down to Casey. Casey misses the net there as he took a long time to load up on that shot. Maybe trying to settle that puck down on the stick as it might have been up on edge. McPherson misses the pass as he was trying to cut through the middle. Little chip and go. Millier wanted to hammer his man. He just got out of the way at the last second. Casey now up to Cornette Patterson. He goes wide. And he is crushed in behind the net. The puck sneaks out and the goalie smothers that immediately. Now, still some action going behind the net. We got Mullins and Cornet Patterson. Mullins taking a couple extra shots, but the refs letting it go here. Well, we mentioned it before. The Hawks have not been good at home. They are 2-4.
Friday nights, yeah.
Friday nights is our home games. We do play a home game here Sunday against the Rivermen, but our typical games are this time on Friday nights, and we have been 2-4, and the 2 games that we have won have been a 2-1 game against the Rangers and a 3-1 win against the Caps that we're playing tonight, but one of those goals was an empty netter. So we are not scoring a lot of goals here at home. Although they took care of business at the Monctonian, the league games have not necessarily been easy.
But you know what, Jamie? Tonight there might be some extra energy, seeing as how they start Christmas break tonight. That's it for school for 2 weeks. You got to be feeling good. You got to be feeling good.
Brewer has to make a helmet change as he changes with the backup goalie. He must have an issue with the strap. It looks like maybe one of the strap clips have broken. So he's wearing the backup goalie's helmet. We'll see if that has any effect here. I know as a goalie, you always want to get lots of shots on net when goalies either lose their stick or a new goalie comes in early so they don't get a chance to settle in. And although Brewer has been playing all game, he's got a new helmet on, and sometimes those cages just sit a little bit different in the eye line. Hawks work it behind the net. They send it back up to Gaudette. Gaudette sends it back down low. That sneaks by everybody. McPherson picks it up, tries to center it to Casey. But Casey wasn't quite ready for that pass. Caps try to go on a quick attack, but that's stopped short by the Hawks. Now behind the net, Casey. Casey looking to center. That puck's chipped, gets back up to the point, and that's eventually crosses the line as the Caps able to take a breath. Caps working through the neutral zone off the mark there. As the Hawks trying to keep that one in, unable to get it deep. Caps able to work it again. Pass just off the mark. One of the Caps players with a black helmet, probably a call-up. They have no name tag as well, but both the U14 AAA team and the U15 are both called the Caps. However, the U14 team seems to have black helmets, where the U15 has the red. Max Terrio is the call-up. He's number 4, right wing here tonight. He's with Ray Fuse and Martin at the present moment. Here's a giveaway pass right out front. Dexter does a good job as the player had a shot right in front of the net. He sends it back. It looks like St. Clair is going to get a cross-checking call. That happened so fast, Tony. I missed exactly what happened, but all of a sudden the Caps player was in the slot, didn't take the shot. As the second player crashed the net, they sent it over a little wide. Dexter had time to get over. Able to get his pad on that one. Too many good chances early here. As the Hawks haven't given up too many shots, but normally the Hawks early on this year have always been dominating on shots. In the last couple of games, we've definitely been in the 30 or under range, which is the opposite of what we started off earlier on this year. We tended to be up more in the 40s. Caps on their second power play of the game. They get it in low. They work it down there. Now they move it up the wing. And that's strip by Robichaud. He sends it in deep. Robichaud now just eyeing his man, trying to force him to go a certain way. And Boudreaux lays the hit, but they're going to call a penalty on that. He calls a knee-on-knee for a great hit. That was... Well, you got the live feed, folks. Rewind that a little bit and you tell me what you think. But it looked clean here to me.
It's a 4-minute.
Earlier on this year, the refs were absolutely terrible. But for every team, not just our team, for every team, they've been good as of late. But that's a 4-minute call on something silly like that. I don't like that one. But nonetheless, the Hawks got to dig themselves out of a 5-on-3. As the ref comes over to talk to the coach wasn't even asking to talk to him. So you know what that means, Tony. Sometimes the refs feel bad after they make a call. You know what's going to happen after that. Expect a quick call here against the Hawks. Let's see if that happens.
Yeah, this is a little bit unexpected, this conversation.
Well, the Caps are going to have a good chance here as they get over a minute and 11 to be exact on this 5-on-3.
Are they asking for an extra guy in the box? I think they are. There's something I don't understand about 4-minute penalties. Did they give him a 5 and 4? No. Like, what are we doing? Did he get a 10 and a 4?
I don't know what's going on here, Tony. I'm not a ref. I'm just a broadcaster. But that seems weird that you would give a kid a 4-minute penalty and you'd have to throw another kid in the box. And that's what I mean by earlier on this year. Great save by McLaughlin there. Keep his team in the game. But like I said, earlier on this year, when you give these penalties, and now, like I said, the Hawks are down 2 extra players and a 4-minute for something that looked, call an interference call, if anything. But to call that what he called, that's just silly. And again, I don't want to see the Caps take a penalty or get 4 minutes and an extra guy for that as well, too. That goes both ways. The refs gotta understand how this game is played and not be stupid. Nonetheless, 20 seconds to go here in the 5-on-3. Caps with control up at the point. They work it again. Now from the point to Mullins. Mullins quick shot, tipped wide. 10 seconds left on the clock. They get it back up to the board. Shot deflected wide. I'd like to see the Hawks be a little bit more aggressive here. Get that stick up there. They're giving lots of room to walk in. Quick shot. And nobody in front. Dexter easily sees that one. 1 second to go, Tony. One more second and they would have been able to get 4 players out on this one.
They're going to hit him for the breakaway. Watch this.
Well, the first guy out of the box is St. Clair, and St. Clair's a D-man, so he's going to have to come all the way over, as the Hawks already have 2 D-men on the ice. They win the draw. St. Clair comes straight over, as Casey's going to jump on right away, and he's able to maybe get sprung away, but not quite. But McPherson tried to join in. Quick pass. Intercepted as that wasn't quite in front of McPherson enough to pick up, and Caps were easily able to pick that one away. Now again from the point. That one's centered. Now in the corner. Richard works it, as he works against 2 players in the corner. Back up to the point. Caps down low. No. Millier able to jump that one. 1-on-1. McPherson tried to jump in. Millier knocks it back deep. McPherson now behind, as he's a 1-on-2 battle. We've seen it before. The smallest guy in the ice. But he's Mighty Mouse. As he holds on there, he takes a big cross check to the back. And I don't know how they don't call that one after a penalty, but again, that was 2 hands straight on the back of McPherson. Millier with his great shot, able to knock it off the glass and down the ice. Hawks go for a change. Burnett Patterson puts enough pressure on, forces Brewer to play that. Caps unable to hit the mark, and that'll be icing. They don't call an icing. That one was, again, a terrible call. Two linesmen on the ice, and not one of them able to pick up on that one. The ref should have blew that one down, Tony. Again, I don't make the rules, but when a player shoots the puck from 20 feet from the red line and nobody touches it, that's an icing.
Normally, yep.
So the refs are off tonight, but the Hawks doing an okay job here so far, killing off this penalty. That one's off the glass. Does it sneak out here? I can't tell down from this angle. It's stripped away. Burnett Patterson now, as he's all by himself. Shot on net, and he's able to make Brewer cover that one. He's not done as he's in the corner talking to his man, trying to get him to swing a little bit his way. But
I like that shot there. He pulled it into his feet, changed the angle, went, shot it between the defender's legs. That's a tricky little shot there.
The old Bedard style.
The old Bedard style.
2:02 to go here in this first period. We're in a 1-1 locked up game, but the Caps got 25 seconds left on this power play. That draws one by the Hawks, and they're able to get control. Agnew knocks it down to Robichaud. Robichaud gets it in deep. There's Casey now. Cormier works it in the corner. He's able to get control. He's going to skate this one out and down the ice, and that'll kill off the penalty. There's a quick heads-up play by St. Clair to send that one down the ice before the penalty expired to avoid icing. Both teams back to 5-on-5. Robichaud, Cormier, Casey on the outskirts, and Agnew. They battle along the boards. That one's knocked out. The ref ends up keeping that one in the zone. And here come the Hawks trying to get a shot on net. That's deflected wide. Casey now from the side. He works it along the side of the boards again. Down low. Tried a centering pass. Sneaks through everybody. St. Clair knocks it in down low again to Robichaud. Robichaud sends it back the other way. Caps trying to get to that puck first. He's sent down. No call. Cormier now tries to center out front. Quick shot and a quick whistle. As
very quick whistle. That one was never close to being frozen.
That one almost never even touched the goalie yet. The whistle was blown. Well, we talked earlier. We got a couple of different refs than the typical ones here on our Friday nights. Not that those ones were necessarily bad, but these ones are different tonight. Here is Casey. Drops it back. Quick shot. It's deflected up and over the net. Caps able to skate this one out. Nice little pass to their call up. He can't make it through the defenders. And it's sent back the other way. Big hit along the boards there as this period comes to an end. And Millier is going to fire it around the glass and out. And that'll do it for the first period. We're tied up here 1-1 as the Caps seem to have had the best of us on the power play. But nonetheless, the Hawks have killed it off.
So the only explanation that kind of made sense, it's actually what occurred. So Boudreau got 4 for kneeing and a 10. So he's coming out of the box, but he's going to go back there after the flood. and the extra player that was sent was to serve his 4.
Well, folks, you've seen it. You heard the call. He got a 4-minute for kneeing, 10-minute misconduct, and an extra player put in the box. You look that hit back up and you tell me what you've seen. Obviously, when it happens in fast motion, it can look a little different than slow motion, but you tell me. Leave it in the comments. We'll catch you in the second here after 10. For the second period, we're in a 1-1 deadlock game. 5-on-5 action to start off the second. Knocked in deep by the Caps. McLaughlin back to play it. He wraps it around the boards. Hawks reversing back and forth here behind the net as they try to establish control. Unable to chip that one out. Now back in deep. Richard back to retrieve it. He's under duress. Amelia up to McPherson. McPherson able to get around his man as he was just one step short there, as maybe the puck caught some of that wet ice. Slowed his transition down. There's a shot right on, and that's gloved down by Brewer.
Fries smell pretty good there, Jamie.
Yes, sir. During the intermission, some of the fine fans here on the Hawks side grabbing some good old treats, and those greasy fries on a Friday night smell terrific. From the point, chipped right on. Nope, that just misses. Caps now able to pick it up out of the corner. They try to get the line, but not quite. They send it in. Dexter's going to stop that. He loses it in his feet for a second, but he steers that to the other corner. And here comes Cormier trying to beat his man. Quick shot from a sharp angle off the side of the net. Caps able to clear. Knocked right back in by Cadet. And another penalty by our favorite ref of the game. Head contact this time against the Caps, and if he doesn't stop calling penalties, we're going to be in for a long night.
Boys back to their strong sides there on the point for the power play. It's a 4-minute power play.
4 minutes for a hit that I didn't even notice. Millier just fires it right on, and that's gloved down. Well, the Hawks get a 4-minute penalty for whatever we've seen there. You see Boudreau still in the box from his first period hit. There's a shot, and it's Ruth Daddy McCoy as Cormier snipes that up behind the bar.
Short side roof.
Terrific shot there by Cormier. Hawks able to capitalize early on that 4 minute. That should knock this penalty back down to a 2-minute. Oh, that's right. Which it does, and now the Hawks continue on the power play for another 2. St. Clair going backwards. It's dropped off to Richard. Richard up to Martin. Martin almost loses handle, but Cormier able to cradle that. He goes across to St. Clair. St. Clair a little stop and go. Back to Richard. Richard tries to center it across to Cormier. You're in the top of that middle of the ice, on the top of the ice. I would have liked to see that shot directed on the net rather than an extra pass, getting a little too cute. In deep now, Cormier back. Keep that. He works all the way up to Richard on the blue line. He loses control, sends it in deep. McPherson back up to the point. Over to St. Clair, who drops to the Cormier. Cormier looking for a give and go here, as Casey tried to find him. Now Cormier can't feed that one through the skates to St. Clair, and now centering attempt for the breakaway pass for the Caps, but that's just off the mark. They're able to change up the troops, however. Hawks skate this one through. Cornette Patterson now shot on net, and that's gloved down as a lot of these players haven't learned that Brewer has a pretty decent glove and he will smother everything, and maybe you should pick a different part of his body. But that's why we still look after them at home, because they're still figuring things out on their own. Millier now over to Cadet. Cadet fires it right on, but guess what, Tony? Nobody in front of the net. And that centering pass by Casey doesn't quite make it through, but it was picked up last second by Cornette Patterson, who tried to get a shot away. Here comes Cadet now joining up on the rush as he moves in. Tries to get it over to Cornette Patterson. He wraps it around to Casey. Casey back up to Millier, who just fires it, but wide again. Cadet now knocks it in deep. Cornette Patterson behind the net. That one sneaks out, and it's loose. And a quick call again by the ref. And Cornette Patterson is involved in a little scrummage.
Making friends, enduring friendships.
Again, Mullins and Cornette Patterson having a little two-way radio chatter there behind the net, both periods. A good old hockey game. Brings out the best on both sides. Little competitive fun. Caps now across the line. Little flick up and over the heads of the defensemen, and they come crashing down on McLaughlin and the Hawks. Hawks able to get control off the draw here as Cormier comes around and flicks it high in the air. He tries for the Hail Mary pass there. Caps get it back in deep. Cormier now fans on that attempt. Caps able to hold it in momentarily as Rayfield is finally able to send that out of his own. Great job there by Robichaud as he puts enough pressure on to knock that puck off the Caps stick. Cormier now tries to wheel and deal his way into the zone. Rayfuse now throws the body. We haven't seen that too much here this game, as Boudreau attempted the first big hit of the game, and he ended up in the box for 4 minutes and a 10-minute penalty with an extra guy in the box. There hasn't been too much hitting since. Tomorrow night action has the Flyers playing the Rivermen at the Crosman Community Center.
For a third straight game, and that's been getting pretty physical.
They've been heated up there. They're making their own rivalry as the Hawks and Flyers rivalry settles down a little bit as head stage has taken over there, as they had a couple of good battles in the last couple games. Followed by Sunday, the Hawks will take the Rivermen on, and the Flyers will then take on the Rangers in a big tilt this Sunday as well. Puck behind the net, scrambling back and forth. Robinson sends it on net. Off a few players, I'm not sure exactly who, maybe their own player. And it looks like Robinson's going to get the redirect, as his shot might have went off the goalie and then off their own Caps player and back to the back of the net. You can't make this stuff up. I can't tell you how vital it is for every team and every level of hockey to get that puck to the point and just put it on net.
With people in front.
Well, you can get people in net. That's in front of the net, I should say. That's even more of a bonus. And if you can get those players to have their sticks ready for rebounds, that's the extra bonus. There's a shot from the point. That one's blocked by Gannett. Hawks move that one up, but that misses the mark. That one skips out of play. So 3 goals this game, all 3 from the blue line. Little rough play by Harper and McPherson off the face-off as a little spark plug once again is at it. Really tries to send that one around. That's centering pass, but McPherson's the first one on it. Now back over to McPherson, knocked away by the Caps behind the net. 4-man scramble, that ends up on the left side. Caps pick it up. That little flicking attempt to clear the zone, and it's knocked in deep by the Hawks. The Hawks now able to get control behind. That's moved up to Millier. Millier puts it right on net. Lots of traffic there. That just goes wide. Simple little shot. Didn't look dangerous. As again, Hawks now over the line. They work it towards the net. They try to drop pass. Picked up behind the net. Millier, quick shot. Doesn't get everything he wanted on that one. We were able to put the pad down easily on that one. Now, in the Hawks zone, they're able to pick this puck up. A couple quick little passes. McPherson sends that right on net. Cormier goes to the net, and we'll have a face-off inside. Well, the Caps have been quiet this period so far. First period was a little bit of back and forth. Not necessarily a lot of action, but back and forth nonetheless. No team sort of took the reins, but this period the Hawks have seemed to have controlled the pace a little bit more, working the puck in the zone a little bit more than the Caps have been able to. And they're up 3-1 because of it. Rayfuse off the draw. He goes right through. Gets it in deep. Max Terrio now is going to be first on that puck as he's able to hold it in momentarily. Caps now try to move it wide. They're going to try to get around their defender. Quick shot on net. McLaughlin gets one of his first shots this period. He steers that wide. Here comes Rayfuse now. He loses an edge. And the puck ends up on the wrong side of the blue line. The Hawks try to get control here. Back and forth in the neutral zone. Both teams trying to settle the puck down. Agnew's going to retreat a little bit as he tries to collect his thoughts and get his players in position. That one sneaks through everybody, but Caps going to easily get back to pick that one up. Pressure by Cornette Patterson as he tries to hold that puck in the zone. He ends up with the puck. Good turnover by him. He sends it over to Cadet, who sends it on net. A little bit of traffic there, but that one's steered aside. Now McPherson in. He takes a little bit of a hit, but he tries to hold that puck in. He gets some support by Martin. Cadet now. Quick shot, tip, right on. Goalie able to glove that one. There's another one. Almost found its way in from the blue line.
Oh. Boudreau out of the box. Have to do a couple of squats there to get those legs warmed up again.
not sure what time he went in on last period, but it's 11 minutes left in this period, and he's just getting out of the box, so it must have been a 4 and then a 10. But like I said, if you watch that call again, I'd like to go back and watch it myself. This kid just missed maybe 15 minutes almost of a game for what looked like to be a nice hit. But we'll watch it back again. McPherson from behind the net sends it over. Quick shot. Oh, nice little save there by Brewer to keep it at a 3-1 game. Burnett Patterson on the draw with McPherson and Casey. Robinson Cadet on the back end here. Nice win by the Hawks as they move it back down low. Now Casey under some duress. He gets away from it. Quick shot on net. I thought that one stuck through the pads, but it squeaked out the far side. And now they work it in the corner here. Caps able to flick that one out. Robinson has to be careful, not let his man pass him. Caps now through the neutral zone, try to get the line and get that one in. As they get control here, the Hawks do a good job to push their man off the puck. And now Cadet joins in on the rush, but they call that one an offside. Well, all teams are pretty much equal now. They all do a lot of the simple things more often. Tends to come in now to whoever wants to work the hardest. Because a lot of the games have been close. We don't see these 7-1 games as much as we did at the first of the year. Not that there was too many of them. Caps now into the zone. They work it along the boards. Knocked away by the Hawks, and they come back out with it. Trying to get the line. He's able to chip it in deep and avoid a hit at the same time. Boudreau now, he wanted to line up his man there, Tony, but he thought twice as he just spent half the game in the penalty box. Cormier, nice give and go. As he gets it to Robichaud, back to Cormier. Cormier puts it right on. Nice little simple play towards the net, looking for a rebound. That one's blocked from Millier. Caps now. Chip that one out. And Richard bumps his man off the puck. That one was close as the puck was by him. That could have been an interference, but I like the no call. It was too close to call, and like I said, nothing was going to happen because of it. I like the no call there. Caps now missed their little give and go, but they pick it up on the back end. This time, Cormier able to fire it in deep. Nice body check there by St. Clair as he lays the boom down, finishes his man. Again, we've only seen about 3 hits this game. All 3 coming from the Hawks. That one's right on. Steered aside by Brewer. Rayfuse now. He works it in the corner. Sneaks out. Now the Caps come back the other way. St. Clair, a little bump on his man to gain control of the puck. Centering pass attempt by Max Terrio, but Martin wasn't quite ready as he didn't have his stick ready on the ice for that pass. St. Clair disrupts that, sends it in deep. Casey, again, he shies away from his hit. Knocked in deep. That takes a weird bounce off the boards, but Casey picks it up on the other end. As he works it down low. Martin and Rayfuse both standing in front of the net. Nobody there for support. And here come the Caps. That's broken up by Gaudette. Gaudette gains the line. He gets that one in deep. Hawks on a change. Caps behind the net. They got to be careful as they sneak right through the middle. A little bit of pressure by the Hawks. That could have been a giveaway. They come down, break it down the run. Quick shot. Does that sneak through? It did. Nice little passing attempt there. I thought McLaughlin might have had that one, as the Caps did a good job not cradling that puck and getting that shot off right away. And off a great forward check, the Caps able to get themselves back in this game. We're at a 3-2 score here. DDD pass, Hawks move it up. That's off the mark, broken up. Caps retreat back for it. Shard has to be careful, but he gets it in deep. McPherson, Casey, both coming in hard. Back up to Richard. Richard puts it on. Casey's there. A little tip, but it goes wide. And now Casey lays the boom. McPherson as well. He gets shoved to the back of the head and goes down. There's another hit by Cornette Patterson. 3 good body checks there. As the Hawks do a good job. Oh, Millier had LaPointe lined up, but he was able to elude that hit at the last second. Cornette Patterson picks it up, chip off the boards. Tries to get it to Boudreau, but it doesn't quite make it up to the line. Richard back over to Millier. That's intercepted as the Caps player snuck in from the line to keep it in. Now Richard sends it back the other way. Cornette Patterson gives it right back. That sneaks through everybody. Clears the zone. Little chip and go of the Caps. As they get to it first in the corner, they drop it back. And again, knocked off the puck as the Hawks doing a great job applying pressure there. Robichaud now trying to get around his man. He loses the cradle, tries to center it over to Cormier. Cormier, nice little shot. Rebound, it's there. Puck's loose again as it's along the side of the net now. Brewer jumps on it last minute. As Cormier's done a great job earlier on this game. We've seen the same kind of shot. He didn't try to root that one. He just tried to put that one low, which created a rebound scurry. Down low in the corner, Hawks work it. Boudreau and Cormier up to the line. Agnew shot on net. Good little traffic there. Nice low shot. Centering pass. It's loose. Oh, what a save! Oh, another save by Brewer. He gets another one. That's 3. It's the trilogy saves. He was on fire there, but there's a rebound. Can they turn around and fire it? They do. He's there again. It's been the Brewer show this shift, as he made 3 dandy saves and was able to smother it on the 4th. Get his team a change. Brewer, he's one of the better goalies in the league, and he just showed up there. He's a returning player as well, I believe. Through the neutral zone, Cormier able to settle that one down as he works his way in, tries to sneak through the legs, get it on the other side, but he stood up. But they get a face-off in the offensive zone. Hawks again win the draw. Tony, feel like this is a reoccurring theme here tonight, which is the opposite of what I usually say. But the Hawks are doing a great job winning the draws. Robinson now has got to be careful as they try to center that one. He gets his skates involved. Rayfuse. I almost call Rayfuse the bounty hunter. As he's a big man on campus. That's a giveaway here as the Caps try to work it. Dexter able to get his pat on that one, but again, they work their way to the slot. Dexter, another save as he gets a little work here. Rayfuse again lines his man up. Had to squeeze off a little bit as he sort of dodged out of the way, but Rayfuse, you know, if anybody tries to hit him, they usually don't succeed. And if he gets you lined up, that's not a good sign either. This puck's loose! And Cornette Patterson looks at the ref as he goes down like he was shot with a 22. He would have had a breakaway attempt if he would have kept his feet going. And we got to hope he doesn't retaliate back here as he goes for the chop on the ankles. That's now a good little battle as Richard tries to work his man. Now out to the point. There's a shot from the point, deflected wide by Dexter. So you got to see all that one. And that one over to McPherson. McPherson's going to have to get that one in deep. And he does. Now he's first on it. A little stop and go in the corner as he looks for options. Back down low to Casey, who tried to walk out. But just at the last second, he was stick checked. Millier now sends it down low. Millier hammers the man who tried to hammer him. And it's been all Hawks for the hitting. Not that there's been a lot of hitting, but the 5 or 6 hits that we've had this game, maybe a couple more, have been all Hawks. St. Clair's got to be careful as his man tried to catch him on the back end of that. Now Cormier tries to center off the boards to McPherson. He just turns around and fires that in deep. Now behind the net, both teams working for possession here as it goes back and forth. Boudreau now. He has Cormier with him, but the Caps end up with the puck on their stick as they move it through the neutral zone. And St. Clair able to bump him off the puck. Now Cormier trying to get some speed. Tried to move it up to Boudreau. Boudreau unable to control that pass, and now back in the zone we go here as the Caps looked like they were going to light that one up for a shot. They elect to pass at the last second. Now the Caps behind the net looking for one last answer. That's a little giveaway out front. Hawks able to score 2, but the Caps able to score 1, and we're up by 1. Even though that the Hawks have dominated that period, they're going to have to find a way to get up here and get a little bit of comfort. But that'll do it for the second period. The Hawks doing a great job on the draws, doing a great job being physical, and find themselves up 1-0 after 2. We'll see you in about 10. again able to win the draw. Watch out for that sticky ice as it looks super shiny here. Millier now tries to knock it up to Robichaud. Robichaud, a little chip and go to Cormier. He's bumped off the puck. Caps now try to chip it through. Richard gives a little bump. Cormier comes back to help him. Robichaud picks that one up, tries to gain the line. He does. He takes a hit, but he's able to get that puck in deep. Puck gets stopped up again on sticky ice. The Hawks knock that one in deep. Make a couple changes of their own. Caps now. They're going to stretch it through the neutral zone, but that goes off a stick and into the far corner. And now the Caps player just pinned it up against the boards like he was trying to kill a penalty, but they're 5-on-5. I think he was just waiting for his troops to get back into play. Odd little play there. McPherson now battling along. He's able to chip it over to Casey. Casey back to McPherson. Just behind him. He couldn't load up because he wanted to take a shot on net. Caps now working it. So he tries to get around Gadet. Gadet finally stops that. Back up to the point. Quick shot blocked by McPherson. McPherson still down. Trying to get a block again. That one's knocked down by Robinson. A couple good blocks there by the Hawks. Casey tries to chip that in deep. Now Cornette Patterson lays a little body, tries to separate the puck just enough for his teammate to pick that up. Oh, what a hit by Martin as he crushes the Caps player and sends him on his back end. Shot right on, way up in the air off the blocker of Brewer. Puck back. Shot in deep by Robinson. He's going to go for a quick change now. Gadet able to hold that in on the line. He sends it right in. Brewer able to get that one in the bread basket. We're going to face off inside. Rayfuse on the draw. Hawks been good all night. Again, able to win that one cleanly. St. Clair sends it in deep. Max Terrio, he's back behind the net. He's able to disrupt that. And now Rayfuse picks it up behind the net. He tries to center it, but that puck hops off his stick. And another big hit, but there's going to be a call. As the ref is going to call head contact on the high-flying Martin. Well, I like that the Hawks are being physical, Tony. That time maybe the hands get up a little bit high, but I like that Martin, especially after a handful of games back now, is finding his groove. However, that's going to be a 4-minute penalty. This is the problem in the league all the way around, is depending on which game you play in, one ref will call a 4 and one will call a 2 on every head contact. There's a snipe as they tie it up, and they'll still have 2 to go. And again, to go back to what I was saying, Tony, you give a team a 4-minute penalty versus a 2-minute. They're going to have to get a little bit more consistent on what a 4-minute head contact call is versus a 2, or just call them all 4s or 2s. But nonetheless, they're all over the place.
This 4-minute thing, like, this is a new thing. Like, it's gone way too far. Like, there shouldn't be this many 4-minute penalties in a game.
Well, again, I could see a kind of like a boarding call where you're flying in with your elbows high or your hands high, a 4-minute head contact there. But just a hit where both players are basically 1 or 2 steps away from each other.
Yeah, no. Or if you're taking a swing at somebody, okay.
100%. Nonetheless, it's been both ways this game. We can't complain as well as the Caps as well have had 4 minutes, and we took advantage of the same thing. And here's Robichaud trying a one-on-one battle. Can he get around his man? He's got Mullins. That one's on net, knocked away by a Brewer from a far distance out. Robichaud picks it back up, tries to squeak it in. As Brewer able to get his shoulder up against the post and squeeze that one in. Hawks were really good earlier this year on the penalty kill as far as scoring shorthanded goals. They had more shorthanded goals earlier in the season than they did on the power play, but another draw won by the Hawks, straight out to Cadet. Cadet, guess what? Sends that in, and where is everybody? Nowhere to be found. Dexter tries to knock that one down. He's out of the net, playing that one off the glass. And his teammate able to help him out, get that puck out. One-on-one battle here. As Corey tries to sneak around, quick shot. Brewer does a great job staying up high. Now back in deep, Caps. Pass to no one there, and Casey's able to knock that one in for half a second. That one's knocked in deep. The player loses his stick. Dexter's out to try to play that one. This time back out to the point. Quick shot off a stick and out of play. 18 seconds to go here in the final few seconds of the Caps power play. Going back to that last play where I was a little upset that the Hawks didn't get any players in front of the net, Tony, but we are on the penalty kill, so I guess they were being a little conservative there. So no harm, no foul on that one. Caps do a great job winning this draw here. Now they're back up to the point trying to set things up. And as this penalty comes to a close, they're going to have one last look at it here as they try to center it. That goes off a stick. Here the goalie tapping his stick on the ice. Team's back to 5-on-5. That shot's on net, but it tips wide. And now Hawks finally get their player back on the ice. Caps controlling the play here as McPherson's trying to apply a little pressure. Now down low behind the net. Looking for the centering pass. Great job by St. Clair to take that away from that man. And he gets across the line, gets it in deep. And he'll get a change. Now McPherson along the boards. He takes a bump, able to keep that puck in. Puck sneaks out on the other side. This puck goes off a few sticks. Hawks end up with it back in their zone as they chip it out of play. Caps now working behind their net. He's looking for some support up the middle. Jumps off his stick. Now the Hawks now looking for the stretch pass, but that's knocked away. Caps put that in deep. McLaughlin back to stop it for Richard. Richard up to Casey. Casey crosses the line into the zone. He goes down the wing, trying to move it out to the front. Now Rayfew's back for some support. He's behind the net. As he stops, goes. He's a 1-on-2 battle in the corner, but there's one man that can do it. It's him. He gets a little support by Martin. Now Max Terrio behind, trying to keep that puck, and he does it. Squirts out. Puck's loose. Side of the net. They chop away at it. As Brewer tried to glove that down, but it was still hopping all over the place. Rayfew's taking a couple cross checks to the back, but he works the side of the boards here as he tries to get control for the Hawks. Martin's in there to help him 1-on-2. Hawks going to have to win this battle. That one sneaks out, but Cadet able to come in and hold that in. Caps now try to stretch pass. Cadet tries to intercept it. Goes off his stick and out. That one's knocked in deep. Cadet back to pick it up. He's going to skate with it here. As he gets across the red line. Finally able to get it in deep, but Hawks went for a change. And sneaks all the way around. Boudreau's going to catch it on the other side. Now Robichaud back down low to Cormier. Cormier up high. D-to-D pass. Right on net. Looking for deflection. No. Get that in. Try to hold that in, but it sneaks out all the way down the ice as Robinson's going to be the first man there, but it's an icing. Another good start here for the Hawks. Unfortunately, a little bit of power play action for the Caps. And we're tied at a 3-3 game, but Hawks doing a lot of good things, just unable to get that much needed goal. There's a shot, tip, right on rebound, score! Gets your stick on the ice, and Cormier gets his second goal of the game. As that puck got tipped, right on goal, Cormier ready for the rebound, and he puts it to the back of the net. And we got a new sheriff in town. Hawks now again into the zone. They try to drop it for Cormier again. And now Agnew tries to bump his man. He almost got caught on the other side, but Hawks back in deep. And now at the line, forced to make a quick play. Cormier tries to knock it in with a stick, but St. Clair able to stretch out and get that in deep. That takes a weird bounce. Cormier's first on it. Sends it back up to the line, but it was McPherson coming in, who actually wasn't a D-man, and Cormier thought for a second he was going to stay there, but he was coming in to help out. Casey now going to try to get around as he works his way down the boards. Still has it, sends it up to Millier. Millier knocks it in low. McPherson going to try to get there. Burnett Patterson now, back up to Casey. Casey to Millier. Millier. Lots of puck movement here, a little too much. As the Hawks finally missed that pass, and Caps able to pick it up. I like the puck movement, Tony, but sometimes for every pass you try to make, eventually you get caught in the odds. Make a couple good passes and get that puck on net. Hawks got a little too cute there, but they're doing a lot of good things here. Burnett Patterson intercepts that pass to hold it into the zone. He's all alone as he tries to skate in, but he overskates the puck. The Caps just flick that one out in the neutral zone. Now at the red line, the puck jumps over. Max Theriault looking for a fast break, but that puck hops off his skate. Martin, quick shot, just over the net. Great view. Takes a little bump, but he's got two guys down in front of him as the big choo-choo train continues rolling. That now trying to get that one in deep as the puck's jumping on in. Here's a chance for Max, and he gets the shot on net, but not all the shot he wanted. Now in the corner now, refuse. He's just a disruptor of force, him. That one's right on net. McLaughlin drops that to the side. Robinson now up to Theriault. Theriault gets stick checked, but it's picked up by Rayfuse, who puts it in deep, and the Hawks will go for a change. Nice stretch pass there by the Caps. Nice little move there, and again a shot, but wide. As the Caps show a little life. Now behind the net. St. Clair holding his man off from the point. Quick shot. And Dexter looks like a catcher for the Blue Jays there as he just frames that one right in the glove. Cormier out for the draw. Over the last few games, I've noticed Tony Cormier has gotten a lot faster. One thing he's always been working on is his speed, but I've noticed that he is skating a lot harder and faster than normal. You see him right here trying to get into the rush. Going to get around on that other side. He does, but the puck gets knocked off the stick of his teammate. But he's been doing a lot of good things. Here's an odd man break. Quick shot off the crossbar. Another shot. That just goes wide. The Caps not going away. As the Hawks unable to stretch out this goal lead long enough to have a little breathing room. St. Clair off the boards to Casey, but that goes behind him. But it's picked up on the other side by guess who? Cormier. Little pass. Oh, off the skates. What a great play there. As he was looking for Boudreau on the other end, but that caught him in the skates. He tried to get his stick on it. Directed into the back of the net. Nice little play there up to Richard, who jumped in on the rush. Now he's forechecking hard to try to hold that puck in. McPherson unable to keep that in. Millier to Richard. Richard back up to Millier. He joins in on the rush, and he takes a slapper from the blue line. Maybe not the best choice there, but goes off a stick, and it'll be an offensive zone faceoff nonetheless for the Moncton Hawks. Caps able to win this draw, but Hawks get possession. Shot towards the net, deflected wide. Richard, backhand, down low. Now Casey off the boards. Down low to McPherson. McPherson takes a little bump, but he's still got the puck. 3-on-1, able to sneak that one out. Cornette Patterson back up to the point. Shot deflection! Oh, that was not far off the mark at all there. McPherson tries to center that one out quickly to Casey. Richard able to bump his man. Caps were looking for a fast break there. Caps gain possession. Nice little pass. Quick shot. Nice save. McLaughlin. And that one's offside. The crowd goes wild. And the linesman, hello, this is Sifflet. Well, Tony, I think the Hawks are due for a breakaway. I haven't seen a breakaway here in a little bit. Linesman takes that one off the shoulder or elbow. Seems to be okay. Robinson's got two people on him. He wraps it around the boards. It's just out of the reach of Max Terrio. Now behind the net. Caps do a good job getting in the way of that puck. Still behind the net. Robinson able to win his battle, looking for some support. Rayfuse there to help. Rayfuse up to Terrio, one-on-one. Terrio puts that right on. Steered aside. Here comes Mullins. He missed last game. He comes with a head of steam, trying to get around his guy. Going to take that shot from a sharp angle. But Dexter does a good job with his overlap. Sends that to the corner. And that puck unable to get cleared as the Caps still hold it in. Shot towards the net off the shin pads of Gadet. Robinson now, he's under a little duress. He gets it up to Robichaud. Robichaud unable to clear, as again the Hawks 2 times now in a row unable to get this puck out. Finally they do, and that one's going to sneak all the way down and it'll be an icing. But the Hawks will at least be able to get some fresh legs on, as they were looking a little bit dire need of a change there. Caps win the draw. Hawks haven't won the last couple. Now behind the net. Great job there by St. Clair, throwing his body. 4-man battle in the corner. Caps come out with it. They reverse it. And now back to the 4-man battle in the corner here, as both teams fighting for possession. Hawks able to get control here, as there's Cormier trying to jump in. Pass is too far in front of him, but great job getting his feet going as he tried to drive for the net. And now the Caps miss their chance for a stretch pass for the breakaway, and the Hawks player able to bump and grind their man at the line and force an offside. Linesman doesn't like what he sees. And guess who? It's the Mighty Mouse. McPherson stirring it up on his side of the ice again with his fellow wingman competitor. Hawks now trying to settle things down in the zone. Could this be a fast break? No, just poke checked away last second by the Caps. Shot right on, glove down again by Brewer, as he's been steady Eddie with his glove tonight. January. I think. Again, Caps able to win that draw. They sneak that one out of the zone. They call off the offside. McLaughlin's back to play it. He swings it around to McPherson. McPherson's got to wait for it as it gets up on end. Casey now sends that one off the boards. And McPherson able to win. Can he get there? He does. Quick shot. Great job by him to try to sneak by the D. Fortunately, he didn't have his F2 drive the net for an option, and he had to force that one from a sharp angle. There's a shot! And guess what? We got another goal from the point with lots of traffic in front that gets tipped and finds the back of the net. Merry Christmas. I don't know what to say, but put a man in front of the net and you'll get lots of presents. Ladies and gentlemen, your Hawks are in unfamiliar territory, as this is the first time this year in a regular season game that your Moncton Hawks have scored 5 goals at home. There's another shot for the point. The rebound. They look for it. Quick shot on net. Great save by Brewer. As again, the gifts continue here. When you get in front of the net, you have your defenseman shoot towards the net. 2 minutes to go in this third period. Mullins trying to jump up on the rush. He tries to go around Millier, but he'll have none of that. As he chip and go to Martin. Martin chips it down into the zone. Goalie's out. 6-on-5. As the Caps look to try to get a couple goals here. Get back in this game, but they're running out of time. There's 1:30 left. Great job there by Cormier as he pressures his man. And now the Caps. Every man going forward as they're hard on the puck. Now back up to the point. Quick shot. Rebound. He tries to turn. Dexter gets it. He found that puck. What a toe save. It's not over yet though. Little rebound towards the net. Finally cleared down the ice. And that'll be an icing. But Dexter able to do the snow angel save as he doesn't quit on that one. Caps call a timeout. 1:04 to go in this game. Your Hawks are up 5-3. .104 to go, 6-on-5. Caps win the draw. From the point, quick shot. Dexter gets it off the shoulder. As Mullins got all that one. Now again, from the point, Mullins trying to create something. And that pass is held in by Mullins. As they got to be quick, they throw a shot attempt towards the net, but that ends up behind the net. Now everybody battling for it behind the net. Those valuable seconds click off. It finally squirts out front, but Millier tries for the empty netter. Stripped to the puck. Again, that one's blocked down. 27 seconds to go here. Millier turns and fires. Will that find the back of the net? No! It just misses, and we got an icing. We're not done yet, folks. We got 22 seconds. So barring a quick goal right off the face-off here. Again, the Caps almost win the draw, but McPherson turns and fires, and it's just wide. As it looks like the Hawks are going to have to work on that shot from their own end into an empty net.
That's the trend, eh? Like, you go for it now. Like, it used to be like you didn't want to ice the puck, but now, even in the NHL, they go for it.
16 seconds to go. This is the last ditch attempt here. The Caps win the draw. Valuable time clicked off. Another chance, and that's another icing. And 10 seconds to go. You could bet you could count your chips at the table before the dealing's done this time. As barring a miracle, your Hawks are going to probably come out on top this game. Can they win a draw? That's the question. Hallelujah. That one's knocked to the line, but not out. As last chance attempt, and guess what? The ref's not done. He got a cross-check call and a head contact. Who's he calling? I'm not sure who he's calling. He's calling the Cap. 0.7 seconds left in the game. Just let it run out. Calling two players. I don't like the call, Tony, but I haven't liked them all night from both sides. It's just been a little bit too wobbly. Oh, another fight breaks out. Who's involved? They come after a little McPherson.
The linesmen were just like huddled and daydreaming over there. The players were all mixed in together. They're getting some fishing and Kevin afterwards.
Well, I didn't see how that started. I was looking around wrong places.
Well, so with the linesman, I think that was the issue.
Well, your Moncton Hawks are going to get the victory 5-3 here tonight and finally get over that goalless drought here at home. Your next game will be Sunday at 1:15 as your Hawks will take on the Miramichi Rivermen for the final game before New Year's. We'll see what your Hawks can do if they can win the next two games and the Rangers lose to the Flyers the next one. They may remain on top with still a game in hand, but we'll see what happens as it should be an exciting weekend of hockey for all teams involved. 3 more games to go here this weekend. Your Hawks are involved in one of them. We'll see you Sunday, 1:15.